Good evening folks, just a quick video before I go to work. I'm going to do a quick overview, just put the old giglets on. I'm going to do a quick overview of this old record player. This is a DYNATRON, and I'll tell you what the model number is because I don't know offhand. It's a model number LS 1734, and it was made in the place where all Dynatrons should be, in Maidenhead, and it's equipped with a Garrard SP25 Mark III, automatic turntable, automatic as in automatic, not an automatic as in auto changer, and I've already really assessed this. And when I operate the mechanism, it's all gummed up, so that needs to be addressed. The auto mechanism doesn't work. I have had this plugged in because I do trust the source it came from. It came from a friend of mine called Stephen, and I was given this on the conditions that I keep it, and which I'll certainly do. The amplifier works, although the switches are crackly, although I will actually do a full service of the amplifier. These filter switches here work. There is no stylus in this. If I just pull the cartridge carrier out, the cartridge carrier feels a bit loose folks, but no worries. This has got a gold ring cartridge in it, and it's a magnetic cartridge. It's not a ceramic cartridge in this. I've got a feeling that this is going to be a pretty well made record player. Anyway, that's and it also has the lid, which has got a few scuffs on it, but you know, we're looking at a unit here from the 1970s, the early 1970s, so possibly even 1970. So you know, you expect that. The speakers, I also got the matching speakers. They're not present because there's no room on the bench for them. They're in the bedroom, but they've suffered from what's the word? Foam rot. Because they've got foam edges on the cones and they've suffered from foam rot, so it'll either be replace the foam or replace the actual speakers. I need to look into that, but I need to test the speakers to make sure that the voice coils are okay and that everything else about the speakers is okay. What I want to do, I'm going to assess this. I've already assessed it by plugging it in. The turntable rotates, the automatic functions don't work, and hey, it's a DYNATRON. But I've got the feeling, now anybody out there is welcome to correct me if I'm wrong, but I've got the feeling that this is based on the Pi black box amp. Not the valve black box amp from the 50s or the transistorized one from the 60s. I'm talking about the black box that used the BSR MP60 McDonald from the 1970s. That's the black box I'm talking about. Rather ugly looking thing. But I will only know that when I compare both circuits, because I've never seen the circuit for that particular black box and I've never seen the circuit for this, although I'm about to, and I think I'm probably in for a treat. So we'll get this unbottomed. I presume it comes apart from the bottom, so we'll remove its arse, and what I'll do, I'll get a towel to put over the lid, because I don't want to damage the lid any more than I need to. I don't want to scratch the lid any more than is necessary, because I've got a feeling I can buff most of this up and make this look good. So I'm going to try and keep it as I mean to go on, and I'll whip the bottom off, folks. There we go, folks, it's de-arsed, and I'll tell you what, this is the easiest, I think this is the easiest de-arsing I've ever had, because 1, 2, 3, 4 screws and the arse just lifts off, no worries. And I've got a feeling that this is going to be a bit of a easy one to work on. It's going to be difficult to get to the bits I need to get to, but pretty sure it'll be easy enough. Alright, so basically the knobs have got to come off, so it's got to be put the other way back round. And we've got fuses here. They I would imagine they're the same value, so yes, left and right channel fuses. So it's correctly fused. It's got another socket here for something. Probably take a ceramic cartridge. Let's have a look at what this shape of this is. See if that fits there. It does. So basically that's so I'm going to leave that disconnected anyway, and this disconnects from the mains transformer here. And look at that. Isn't that nice and easy? Look at that, a nice plug, you just unplug it. And we've got some string or wire retaining the wires there, that needs to be removed. So let's get my pliers, because I won't be reusing that anyway, so I'll be putting won't be using that as a paper thing with wire around it. Right, and then we've got the plug there for the motor, and that, to all intents and purposes, folks, look at that, it's the deck disconnected. Power supply is under here. I can see under here, I can see the caps. Outputs, not sure where they've put the output. Oh, the output transistors are actually along here on this chassis. So yeah, they are. The bolted to this heatsink. This is a heatsink as well. Yeah, they are. Oh, we've got some lovely. Oh, let me have a look down there. Oh, got some nice electronic porn here for you folks. Once I get it out of the case. The capacitors don't look as though they're swollen, and they don't look as though they've leaked. And when I turned this unit on, folks, there was no hum whatsoever. It was nice and quiet. So I'm pretty sure that I might get away with replacing the capacitors. What I'll do, I'll check them with the ESR. I'm not going to do that tonight, obviously, but I can check them with the ESR, and then I can decide then whether I want to think. And the good thing about this is painted. This is not covered. So this is actually, I think this was white from the factory. Yeah, it's got to be on it. Right, so all this needs attention. It's all got gummy grease on it. But what I'm going to do, folks, I'm going to service the deck first, because the deck is the easiest to service. So can I get my hand under there to get out of the screw? I'm going to have to take that goddamn amp out. Yeah, put that back into position again for a minute, because I'm not going to get my hand in there. I'm going to have to take at least, yeah, I'm going to have to take the amp out. But what I can do, I can start work on the top of the deck for now. So if I just get the arse back for a minute, because this board sort of slightly protrudes a bit, hence why the arse is countersunk. and this arse goes on a certain way as well, and I remember which way it went because of that label. That goes that way, right? So we'll just put the arse back on, just rest, put that plug back on there. I'm not bothered about connecting everything back up because it's all going to become apart. It's all going to be taken apart, this, and it's going to have a proper job done on it. It's even got, look, the guy even had the instructions for this, but he's lost them and all the other paperwork it came with, because it was given to him by his uncle, I think he said, and that's why he didn't really want to part with it, but he needed to. So yeah, turn transit screws fully clockwise before operation, and that one there is to the mains lead, and the wires in the mains lead supplied with this appliance are coloured in accordance: green and yellow, earth, blue, light blue, neutral, brown, live. We know that. Now I'll put them in a safe place, put them back there for now, because I don't want to lose them because they came with it, and that's the manufacturer's nameplate and model number plate, and I need to know where that came from so I can stick it back on. There'll be something on this somewhere that'll tell me where that came from, some mark. I'll stick that back on. So that's got to be put back on at some point. The knobs have got to be pulled off, and luckily they haven't got screws in them. They're just sort of like pull off knobs. They've been on there God knows how long, been on there since it was made. So yeah, I expect that to be a mission. I've got a knife here. Let's pull this centre spindle out. That centre spindle's a BSR spindle, it's not a Garrard. This would have come with a Garrard metal spindle in it, so I've got some. So I can put a proper metal one in it. Now where's that tub I put the screws in out of the arse? There it is. Right, there's an idler in there, it's not off this, but it can stay there so it doesn't get lost, because it's... Now the next thing to do is to take the clip off. Can I do it with the pliers? Or am I being too much of a smart ass? There we go. Pliers. Clip off, and here goes. Surprising what you find under old turntables, folks. The turntable itself needs a good clean and polish and whatnot, but it's surprising what you find. Remnants of styluses and all sorts of stuff under here. Well, that's all seized. There's a decomposed rubber ring there. It's got to be cleaned off. There's a bit of wear there. Right, so what we'll do, we'll turn the soldering iron on. Now this is a claim by most people. Let's get the circlip off. So you pull them off with pliers, do not spring off and go everywhere. Now ooh, that's all stiff and gummed up, so it's all going to have to be stripped, the top of this. But as I quite like the unit, I'm going to do a really nice job, hopefully. I do a really nice job anyway, but I'm going to while I'm doing that, I can check the condition of the idler. Which I think is a bit naff. But I also think that one is the same. So, and I know that's a good one. Let's check the motor. The motor's nice and free. Yeah. Now, are we eating it with a soldering iron? See, a lot of the restorers claim that if you hold a soldering iron on, but I've got a feeling that's going to take a bit too long, you know, because a lot of them hold the iron on and then I think what to do, then just leave it and come back. So, in time-honoured tradition, folks. Right, that should be long enough now, folks. Let's see. Take the iron off and there we go. That all needs a good clean. Needs sorting out and lubricating. And a lot of them, I've noticed that a lot of them on here, on YouTube, when I'm not criticising or anything, far be it for me to do that. But a lot of them, there's a little ring here, there's a little bearing here. And this one's loose, but sometimes they're tight. And I've noticed a lot of them don't lubricate that. Don't even think they know it's a bearing. But let's see if we can get this off with the pliers. Now we're going to really tricky now, folks. And no, can't get the pliers in. I've got this little knife here, actually. I can use that to just push the clip off. I'll put that on the deck because I'm going to be, so I need to pull this out. Put that there. And I might have to heat this up with the soldering iron as well, but there's a bit of, like, looks like somebody's attempted to oil this at some point recently, because that's wet. So let's see if we can get this off without having to. No. So it's a case of right, well, that trick certainly works. The old soldering iron. Right, so now it's a case of just get my cotton buds, or as you Americans call them, Q-tips, if I can find them. Yeah. I hate it when you can't find some. Oh, there they are. They're underneath the turntable. There we go, put them on here. I need those. I haven't got any isopropyl alcohol, so I have got, however, some degreaser, which should work the same. So there we go, we're back. Right, now it's simple. Let's put the glasses back on. Now all we do is just, there we go, a bit of degreaser on that. And I dropped my cotton bud, folks. Yeah. Never mind. I've got plenty. Don't want to keep doing that though, because I ain't got a lot of degreaser. There we go. Now what we do, we take the degreaser, and with the cotton bud with the degreaser on, and we pass it through the hole and just clean that, a bit of solder on there from the soldering iron. There we go. And that's cleaned that. Now let's give that a wipe with that one there. And what I'll do now, I'll use the other end of this to clean that. Now, and a lot of people don't put grease in this and all in this cam, and you're supposed to. We'll get to the grease in a minute. Let's have a quick sip of me coffee here, folks. Now, let's take the ball race out, because then I'm not too worried about this idler. It looks like it's seen better days. There we go. Spray a bit on just to get all the casing crap off. There we go. There we go. So I'll leave that to evaporate. And see, a lot of people replace the grease on these with oil. I'm not. I've got some grease in my toolbox, so I'm going to put some more. I'm going to put some grease in it, and then all a good wipe this, and all underneath us apparently appears to be okay, but it will be dry, so there we go. Now let's get another cotton bud to just dry everything out. Shouldn't need to dry actually, it should actually be. That stuff evaporates, it has done, it's all gone, there's not there. But just in case, there we go. Right, put that back in the box because the other side of it's still good. Right, so now what I need to do is get the grease. Right folks, we're back with the grease, and I just need to find something to apply it. Put that there. Here we've got grease. Alright. There we go. You'll need a little bit of grease, you don't need a lot. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the glasses back on so I can see what I'm doing. Because old age comes to everybody, and when it does we go blind as a bat. So basically what I want to do is just give everywhere a thin coating of the grease. There we go. That there for a minute. Now I can put that back into there. Right, now where's my two clips? Doesn't matter which way around you put these two clips, they're both exactly the same size, so there's no wrong way here. There, look at that. Loosey goosey. That goes on the top. Then we little grease on the top of that. I mean, there are probably those of you shouting at me now saying, "No, you don't grease that." Well, I've seen these new, because I bought a couple of new old stock ones, and they were greased. Grease will find its way into there, trust me. They were greased. Now just grease a little bit of the grease around the inside of the cam. We'll need a little bit of the grease on this because it goes a long way, it'll work its way around. So really what I could have done was something that could spread it, but get a bit on this corner here where there is nothing. There we go, get on there. There we go. Now, put that back there. Need a cloth to, there we go. Where a towel comes in handy. That's my old bath towel, I use it for when I'm cleaning bits on the motorbike. Now we've got this here. Now we've got a decomposed rubber ring on here, which I'm going to get off. Which is probably not going to do it any favours. So now I need to get me, where are you? There it is. Need me scraper offer. And that's the scraper offer. Right, I've got all the rubber off. We're left with a bit of a ring there though, but it is clean and smooth and flat, so we're alright there. There's the ball race. Now this ball race didn't have any grease on it. This ball race is actually oiled. Actually it's not. I'm wrong, it did have a bit of grease on it. So just give that a clean. It did have a bit of grease on because there's remnants of it there. There it is. So basically, all we do I'm going to put that upside down. So basically, yeah, put that there for a minute. Now, I'm going to put that there. Get me spreader on her. A bit of grease on the bearing, on the washer. There we go. Now put the bearing race in, ball race in, there we go. And just a little bit on the top of this, smear a bit around the top of this washer. Because it'll pick up off the other one. Just need a little coating of it on that one. There we go. Let's wipe me spreader on her. Now, put my grease away for now because we don't need that for a while. Now I've already greased. I've already greased all this, so this can be get the little clip for the gear, because I'm confident it'll all work now. Now the turntable, I will replace, I'll move the pliers first now on my oil, put my oil there a minute. I will replace the platter. Oh, hang on, I almost forgot there, didn't I, folks? I almost forgot, and you weren't even going to remind me. To clean the main bearing, main centre bearing. Nobody reminded me, did they? Good job I twigged. I hadn't done it. It's all nice and clean in there now. There's a bit of that rubber gunge around the side there. Let's get that off. There we go. So what I'll do now, I'll put the turntable back onto the unit, and I like to oil them with the turntable moving. There we go. And what I'll do, I'll wipe off the excess. And once that all works down, that noise should go, and I'll starting to go down, that noise. Just lift that up, leave it back down. Make sure we have got oil all the way down, and we have. So I can get just get a Q-tip, cotton bud, whatever you want to call it, and just take off the excess. Right, I'm going to try this by. Look at that, look how free that turntable spins. And that noise is starting to die down. Look at that, folks. That rumble's starting to die down and all. Yeah, that'll be right. After it's played a few records, it'll be right. Anyway, folks, let's try the automatic features. So we'll put, let's have a look, where are we at the moment? 78, try that for the 10-inch. Well, I wasn't supposed to do that. Let's try again. So the arm doesn't go over. Let's hold that across. Right. I know there's nothing on the top, so I can put the top together. It's something underneath that. And don't know if you noticed, but they always put a little hole in this clip. That's so you can hook it back on. Now, let's turn it upside down. Hey folks, I did manage to get the deck out. Let's move the arse out the way, put the arse up here. That's its arse, it's still the arse. Right, so what I need to do now, don't have to worry about taking the cartridge carrier out, there's no stylus in it. What I need to do now is lubricate. So I need the towel back down to protect everything. I don't want to break anything, so I need to lubricate, clean all this crap off that's accumulated all over the years and re-grease. So now, where's my cotton buds? Clean all this crap off. I mean, this stuff will evaporate, so I'm not really worried. But because of where the grease has left marks, I know where to wasting half of that one. I know where to re-lubricate. See that's sticky there as well, you see, so that's got to be re-lubricated. All the speed mechanism's got to be done. Right, so, and this has got airs and, you know some folks, I think I might end up having to strip this down to do it, you know, but right, just see if cleaning all that crap off has actually improved the situation. It shouldn't switch off, you see. See, that time it didn't, now it should. That's right. Now it should. This touch should stay on. Wind that back. Right, so basically, right, let's have a look. Up there, push pad moves across, that switch moves back down, and I think that is supposed to drop back out of the way. I'm not sure though. No, it's not. So let's see. Right, let's have a look how it works. So, push pad comes across, it knocks that back to manual, which is right. And that's just for the record sizing. And that comes back. And all the speed mechanism all works, it will be all done. So because on or auto supposed to right, so basically I'm going to have to lubricate it. And hello again folks, good morning. I've not long got in from work, but before I go to bed I just thought I'd have a little go at the Garrard SP25 Mark III out of the DYNATRON record player. The mechanism all works, but the arm doesn't go across and it switches off when it should stay on. So I'm gonna have a go at that. Quick look now. It's obviously just something that's just gummed up. So I'm gonna remove the push pad from here. I'm gonna have a look under that because I can't do anything with the push pad on. So we'll take the push pad off and see where we end up. Right, continuing on with the Garrard, folks. I have to put my grease away because I'm done with that now. Right, I've actually found the problem, and this is one for you to look out for. The reason why the auto mechanism wasn't working correctly, I'll just show you, is this bar here. Let's just try and get you the right. This bar here was actually bent, and what was happening was, I'm just trying to get in a better position. What was happening was, when you switch the mechanism on, this part here let's see, there, that's it. This part here, let's just turn it off. Right, this part here, you can, I'm waggling, connects this part here. And what was happening was, this bar here was dropping down, and basically this part of it here, this part of the mechanism here, was going under there. And what happens then? I'll show you. Instead of it taking the arm to the record, it switches off, and that's what the problem was. Because now there we go, it now does as it should. The record sizing now works as it should. This is back to front, folks. It isn't when you watch it though, it just looks it to me. I want to get this piece of thing off the arm here because it's not supposed to be there, and I want this as original as I can get it, but I want to get that off. A bit of tape, a bit of glittery stuff that somebody's put on over the past, I don't know why. But ouch, 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 Jesus man, ow, my balls are being eaten by my undies. Oh, I'll tell you what, you know, it's a sad state of affairs when your underpants turn against you. Anyway folks, just short of getting a metal centre for this and changing the idler, I've got a nice idler there which I'm going to put on it. It's the correct one, because the idler on this has dried up a bit, it's a bit crap, and The turntable all needs a good polish. But other than that, folks, this Garrard is ready to go. Now what I'll do, I'll just demonstrate it. I'll turn it round, lift it off this towel, there we go. We're on 10" for a 78. The turntable, the arm goes to 10". I'm not worried about it. Get to the end of the record, and up we come, and off we go. Go to 40, 45. Switch it on, rotate the turntable. There we go. 7 for a single. And a 12". And for a 33, for a 7" 33 RPM. There we go, folks. That is one perfectly working Garrard. The Garrard just needs a good clean, which it's going to get. It's all been greased, and I just need to clean it now. Make it look a bit flash. Look a bit good. There we go, folks. That brings us to part 1 of. Brings us to the end of part 1 of the DYNATRON restoration. Part 1 has focused on sorting out the SP25 Mark III. And if you have any questions, anything you don't feel I've covered, then let me know and I will explain the process. No, don't have a problem with that at all. And by all means, join me in part 2 when I'll be working on the amplifier. Well, pardon me, and thank you very much for watching, folks, and more to come later.